Well, I'm Kana McPurry. I'm a designer for this game. I did a lot of programming as well. And yeah, welcome to Inflamed. Let me get you introduced. So this game, Inflamed, here is what it's all about. Enough is enough! You are tired of aimlessly flailing for the amusement of onlookers without any compensation. Take matters into your own hands and wreak havoc to demand fair treatment for unpaid inflatables. Destroy as many cars as you can before your battery runs out. Collect batteries to buy yourself more time to stick it to the man. And with that, let me drop us into the game. At the start here, you'll see our amazing cutscene, which really channels the anger and the rage from these wacky inflatable tube men. They're tired of it. They need to be compensated, and no inflation without representation. This game happened to be the very first thing that went on the whiteboard when we first heard the Global Game Jam theme. We heard Make Me Laugh, and the first thing on the board was Wacky Inflatable Tube Man. The first thing you'll notice when we enter the game is just that, the wacky inflatable physics of our tube man, brought to life with amazing character art and physics and art and VFX. It's our wackiest and most inflatable tube man ever. And this is a great time now to demonstrate some of our mechanics. First and foremost, we get to blow up cars. By wacky inflatable tube manning all over the dealership, we get to destroy as much as we can to really wreak havoc and stick it to the man. You might notice that in the top left I have a battery that is slowly draining and is quickly approaching zero. That kind of serves as our time limit to force you to act more quickly and really add to the frantic nature of the game. This battery can be recharged with different car batteries scattered throughout the level. Different cars explode and have different amounts of health and give you different amounts of points. If you look in the top right, you can see a small diagram of the dealership and a set number of points that keeps tallying up with every car we destroy. This helps you visualize your progress in destroying the dealership, and you can see that the fire starts spreading the more that you destroy. One cool feature of our game is that if you press the T button in this current version, it switches to daytime and lets you get a better look of the dealership and what it looks like. You might also notice these cars driving around the dealership. They serve as our obstacles, and they will end your run prematurely if you get hit by one. You might have noticed that that car... Oh, I died. Well, I was going to explain that cars that you destroy have a 1 in 10 chance to launch way up in the air with 1,000 times the velocity of a normal explosion. This came out of us wanting to make this game as comedic as possible, and we found that it was really funny to do that. And that's really the game as it was at the end of the Game Jam. We think that the core of the game was really the wacky inflatable physics and the destruction that we could destroy and bring out through the game. As we go forward, we're really interested in kind of expanding the story we felt was very compelling, and we wanted to lean into the idea of cooperation and like unity, working together with different inflatable tube men. And with that, in the next month, we're planning on trying to add cooperative multiplayer to our game, specifically like 1 to 4 players, starting with couch co-op, but we would like to attempt some online multiplayer as well. We'd also like to expand the dealership. We want a little bit more of an interesting level with more challenges than just running around and destroying everything as it is. And we'd like to improve our wacky physics. The character as is a lot of fun to move around and swing in circles, but we feel that it has some room for growth and making you feel wacky, inflatable, and crazy. And then lastly, we have an amazing art team, so I think we can definitely push our visuals in the coming months. I think we could get some cool set pieces and designs of the levels and art, and I think we can really push this to be really cool. Our studio is Sticky Finger Studio. I don't believe we have any social media up yet, but we will be getting that soon. Our team consisted of 17 people during the Global Game Jam. Most of us were artists, but we have a very well-balanced team in terms of experience. We have programming experience, we have sound design experience, we have good VFX. The one thing that we are currently missing would be a composer, and I would love to see some amazing music get implemented into this game. For our trailer, we found some good rock and roll, copyright-free music online, and that really helped amp up the action in the trailer. But I'd really like to bring this to life and make it something really cool. And that's basically it.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Oh yeah, anyone else have any comments from the team? All right. Yeah, really enjoyed it. A lot of good questions in chat. Now, you said you need more music. Now, SCAD-Savannah does have a good sound engineering department. Have you reached out to them or have any contacts with them?
We should. We have a sound designer on our team, Beth, who's been amazing at providing all the sounds that you've been hearing as we've been playing this game. And we may be able to find some composers at Savannah or in SCAD. I just thought I'd ask while I was here.
That's great. Absolutely do have lots of good audio folks in the group. All right. Running through some of the questions. Got a bunch of questions for you. Tim Ryan, will there be anything you should not destroy?
Oh, that's a good point. Originally, in our ideation after the Game Jam, it was talked about having a competitive game instead of a cooperative game where you can actually run into and hit the other players. We decided that was kind of antithetical to the core concept of them rising up and working together. But it could be, it might be a good idea to have some friendly fire or some sort of way to mess with your friends, even if you aren't supposed to be, and I think it can generate a lot of laughs if you run up in wacky inflatable two-man slap your way to knocking your friends down.
Excellent, excellent. Will the inflatable people talk?
I think they're talking right now. It's just the sounds of fans.
Yeah, obviously there's no blow-up person love story in this, and I think that's probably a good idea. Keep it that way. Parker Cameron asks, what engine are you using?
We're in Unreal Engine 5. A lot of our team worked together on a few different big Unreal Engine projects, so we have a lot of experience with Unreal.
All right, and another question from Parker. In the battery UI, how are you able to create a translucent asset that surrounded the battery when its power goes down?
In our UMG widgets, which is what we use in Unreal, I have a couple images. I have one that is a slider bar that slowly ticks down and has text in the middle, and behind that I have an image, which is basically just one texture that I am rotating every few seconds with an animation. The transparency is then tied to the percentage of the battery life, and then it starts at 0% and goes up to 30% to get you a little bit more urgency. There's also a cool effect that one of our programmers added that when it gets down to 10 seconds, the numbers start flashing red.
Excellent, excellent. Doug says, reminds me a lot of Octodad. Any way to affect the driving cars or only the parked cars?
At the moment, just the parked cars, but it might be a fun idea to have some sort of way to stop the driving cars and make things a little bit safer. But at the moment, I think we left that as is, just to add some sort of challenge and obstacle when we were doing the Game Jam.
All right, Connor asks, will there be different dealership layouts? And this ties out to a question Sean had. He was noting all of the cement barriers around there. Be really nice to have different art on those. Great opportunity for all sorts of fun jokes and gimmicks. But anyway, you looking to have different dealership layouts?
Yeah, this one we made here, we call it Mershady. It's kind of got the Illuminati-esque Mershady logo. But definitely one of our ideas for moving forward is making a much bigger dealership with new level layouts, new design. And I think it might be a fun idea to make a few different levels with a different car dealership at each kind, but that will depend on what we can get done within the time limits. But I would love to see at least one more level is on the list, and 2 more would be a lot of fun to kind of see if we can amp up the challenge and make it more interesting.
I'm afraid to see what sort of jokes you'll have off of the Tesla name or the Rivian name. And for old timers in there, yeah, we all want to see AMCs with Gremlins and Pacers and all those other crazy 70s cars. Yeah, I want to see this mixed with a 70s cop game and all the 70s cop cars. Anyway, We had some other, a bunch of other comments on the physics. A lot of folks impressed by your use of the physics. Nicely done around that. And I liked how you're talking about your plans for the physics as well. And the one example of completely unrealistic physics, the cars going up into space. Do you plan any other examples of where you really break the laws of physics?
We did talk about during development having some sort of like velocity, where it keeps track of how fast the character is swinging or how fast it hits something. Having that be exponential or something along those lines would be kind of crazy. See if you could whack something in outer space on the regular, or something along those lines. And I even thought up some ideas of some power-ups, maybe fire spewing out of the top of the inflatable tube man to make it go extra fast or deal extra damage.
Nice. Now we're looking forward to the Road Warrior version of this with Nitro behind you to get you all going fast.
Yes.
Warrior layout. Excellent. All right. That was indeed Inflamed. Looking good. Great stuff. All right, everybody. Keep following the progress. Make sure you're following everyone's social channels. If you have not shared your team's social channel in the chat, in the YouTube and Twitch chats, please do so. We want to get everybody following everybody else. Remember, one of the best ways to get your game talked about is having other indies talk about your game, and all the other folks in this competition are indies who can share your messages, amplify what you say, get the word out. And I think everyone here will be supporting one another. A lot of good comments, a lot of good suggestions. I'm just having fun watching the inflatable man go crazy still, so I might keep this going till at least this one inflatable being runs out of juice. So thanks to everybody, and make sure to come out to Georgia State University April 9th to learn who is the winner and join us. Aw, poor inflatable person. And join us March 9th in Columbus for SimFest. Thank you very much, Inflamed. Thank you very much, everyone. Take care.